In 1971, Henry Kissinger, the then US National Security Advisor, made a secret visit to China. By October 1971, China was given a permanent seat in UN, and in 1972, Nixon flew to China and shook hands with Mao. This visit was most visible proof of the beginning of their friendship. On January 1st, 1979, the US and China established full diplomatic relations. Soon, they signed various agreements across different sectors, including trade agreements. The friendship had a purpose. It was to counter the Soviet Union, and it worked beautifully. By 1980s, America gave China most favored nation status, slashing tariffs on Chinese goods. In 1983, Reagan allowed the sale of advanced computers and dual-use technology to help China modernize. In 1985, they signed a nuclear cooperation agreement. America was investing in China's future. This partnership also got serious in Afghanistan. After the Soviets invaded in December 1979, China secretly helped US. But while they were fighting Moscow together, something else was happening. China was transforming. In 1980, Deng Xiaoping launched special economic zones, Shenzhen, Zhuhai, Shantou, and Xiamen, offering tax breaks, cheap labor, and fast customs. Beijing created a system where foreign companies could import parts duty-free and assemble them in China, and then re-export finished goods. It also added export tax rebates from 1985. American companies came in China with heavy investments. Slowly, manufacturing factories, supply chains, and entire industries relocated to China. Then in December 2001, China joined the WTO. After this, US was flooded with cheap goods, catastrophically hollowing out US manufacturing and creating massive trade deficits that cost millions of jobs. Crucially, it unleashed China's economic surge, providing the capital and technology transfer that fueled its military and geopolitical rise, turning the US from partner to its primary strategic rival. By 2009, China became the world's top exporter, and China wasn't just making toys and t-shirts anymore. It was building power. China soon began to militarize the South China Sea. It dredged disputed reefs and built artificial islands with runways, radars, and missile systems. Many international tribunals ruled against China's claims. However, Beijing ignored. Then in 2013, China launched the Belt and Road Initiative, extending its influence across continents. It built anti-ship missiles and submarines designed specifically to keep US forces out of Asian waters. American companies and agencies even faced massive intellectual property theft and cyber attacks. China had spent decades hiding capabilities and biding time building economic and military strength. And now the Washington could no longer ignore reality. By 2017, the US began to recognize China as a strategic competitor and took many steps like putting high export controls on advanced technology, entity list sanctions, tightened alliances across Asia. And the friendship was far from over, as China had used every bit of America's investment to challenge American dominance. And that's how both nations ended up becoming the arch rivals. For more such updates, please like, share and subscribe the Geo Frontline.